Hey, how's it going? It's Grant with the Garden of Eder. And this week, we're going to catch everybody back up, have a little general discussion. We've got a few of the giveaways planned as well. And joining us today, sorry, she's throwing me off. What about up top? Yeah, I don't know where the fan is. I'm sorry. All right, joining us today is Myra. It's been a while, Myra, but why don't you fill everybody in on how you're doing? You can do it. I give you permission. You don't have to ask Mom. It's okay. Well, she took her first plane ride to Vegas. That is why we missed last week's live stream on Monday. We pretty much knew that was going to happen. Actually, last year, our first live stream that we missed was Vegas. I was planning on doing it, and then we got caught up with one of the aquascapes, and then before I knew it, it was over. And our time slot had ended. So with the time difference and everything like that. But it was a little bit, 4-hour delay on the way there. They didn't have Myra added onto either one of our tickets. And then took care of that on the way there. And then on the way back, 40-minute delay, also didn't have Myra on either one of our tickets. So that was the only issue that we had, basically, was the delays and going to the desk right next to the flight attendant to get Myra added to the flight. But
not even next to, like a mile. All right.
Well, for the one coming home, but for the one on the way there, it was right next to the flight attendant. It was pretty easy. But somehow we made it through security with a baby and no ticket for the baby through Tampa, which I guess it wasn't supposed to be. And I don't know. I didn't think anything of it. But she was well behaved on the flight. She's, of course, has to get everybody's attention when they're walking on the plane. But once the plane took off, she ate, she fell asleep. She woke up very shortly before the flight was over. And basically just enjoyed staring out the window. So she was a very well-behaved baby. But I didn't say hi to anybody.
Okay.
Did you skip through everyone?
Yeah. It's going to be a little rough because I don't have glasses.
I could. So how's it going? Scuba Steve, Jesse, Just One More Fish, Jeff Kane, Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jamie A, how's it going? Davo, Tank Girl, Larry D, Papa Shrimp, Dr. Anthony, back in the USA, nice to see you. Stephen P, Scotty, we've got Benny Tay from Shrimp Sanctuary also here. We'll be going over his visit as well as a giveaway from Benny Tay himself. So stay tuned for that. Of course, Stephen P is here. So you got Jenna P. We've got D&K. Arok. How do you say that one?
I don't say it. I usually just say, oh my goodness. Just say D&K.
All right, D&K. Christy S. Dee Dee's.
Amy?
Yeah, no, I've been watching that, Scotty. I saw that. And then the wire cut out.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, Tracy, and Frogs, Fish, and More. So, you're awfully talkative tonight. You got a lot to say. Not when it was your turn, though. We got to work on that. Yeah. But we flew to Vegas for Super Zoo. We were scaping for Hagen, which has Fluval Aquatics and a bunch of other brands underneath their name. But Hagen is also distributed by Phillips. So we had 2 tanks at the Phillips booth. And then we had, technically 3 tanks at the Phillips booth and then 7 back at the Fluval booth. We did 3 rimless 20-gallon aquariums for Fluval, all with different colored stone. Fluval has these Aquascape hardscape kits that come out. They come out with large stone, different colors. and then detail rock, so you don't have to use your hammer and break up any of the rock. It's also got some finer sand, black as well as white, and then some of them are like a tan sand that goes better with the color rock. But 2 colored sands, and then it also comes with some like lava rock, so it's a good base layer, and then a also like real thin gravel. It's like a laterite kind of, so it's a good filler, so you can easily level things out and make banks and slopes and stuff like that. So you get a good little everything. Yeah. Some of the tanks were a little bit larger. We had, like, I think it's a 57-gallon aquarium. I can't remember how big it is now. We used like 3 kits and a bunch of ghost wood for that aquarium. On that tank, I did all the woodwork, and Shelby did all of the rock and sand and gravel work, and then I planted it up. And then on the other tanks, I did the woodwork, and then Shelby did like all the rest of the hardscape and the plants on those. She scaped all of the bowls. There was 2 bowls at Fluval and 1 at the Phillips booth. And then also she did the hardscape for the betta tank. And then I did the 2 tanks at the Phillips booth. They were back to back. And Jonathan at Fluval wanted the tanks to kind of be scaped together, so that way it looks like they were just one tank. And so what I did was like a winding kind of arch that went through the glass of the aquarium. So half the arch was in one tank and the other half was on the other side. And then we mixed up the fish from the bags, so there was a good mix in each one of the bags. So it looked like the aquarium was just one. It was pretty cool to see all the people that were gathering around the tank. It was right near one of the entrances, and like the main flow entrance too. So it got a lot of attention, especially on Wednesday morning when we were there. Last year, we didn't get a chance to walk around the show at all. Shelby and myself flew off and had to have the kids watched by Lucas Bretz. And he was, of course, fighting Joey DIY this time last year. So we had to get home and get our kids so he could go up and fight Joey. But this time, there's no YouTuber fight going on. And we were able to stay that extra day, enjoy the show. The food this time, we ate a lot of the same spots. Wasn't nearly as good as it was the year prior. Like the only really good food was like one day for lunch we got pizza at the food court. We got strombolis and milkshakes and garlic knots. And how do you mess up any of that? So it was a pretty good lunch for a show lunch. But all the other spots that we had eaten at, the noodle place, the breakfast place, wasn't really that good. Her aunt took us to Morton's Steakhouse. We were trying to find one steakhouse, couldn't find it, and she just gave up. And she's like, "Well, there's Morton's. Morton's is good." It was all right, but it wasn't nearly as good as like Gordon Ramsay's or like our local steakhouse here is pretty good. So the next night, she took us to Benihana's, and again, our local steakhouse is pretty much similar to Benihana, and she even said it before we left that she likes our place better than Benihana's. And I wasn't gonna say that would be rude because she was taking us out to dinner. But I was like, I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to be biased or anything. But I feel like our spot for the price is really good eating. So, but Shelby got to enjoy some shopping with her aunt. Myra got to enjoy all the lights and the ride and everything like that. Of course, it's hot in Vegas, so it's like walking around in the hairdryer the entire time. But we did get to enjoy the show. Their like fish dealer, fish farmer, wholesaler fish section is a lot smaller, and it makes us really appreciate being in Florida and all the farms that we have locally. In California, there's just like 2 rows that were split up by booths. In Florida, it's like the entire middle section of the aquatics, and there's like a bunch of lounges there around it, so that way they can sit and relax and talk to the fish farmers and dealers and stuff like that. So we got to really appreciate where we come from that standpoint. But all of our show friends that travel to all the big shows, we get to see them only at the shows. So we got to see a couple of them, of course. This time, SL Aqua actually had a booth. They're not just shrimp products, but I do think that's where they got started, and that is like a bulk of their product line is the shrimp market. And I was hoping that we'd be able to like maybe set up an account and buy directly from them and import it across. But they were pretty much just promoting it through Boost Plant, so nothing really there for us. But it was just cool seeing a shrimp brand at the show. They weren't with the aquatic section or anything like that, but it was just cool to see them there. And then with the rest of the show, they had a grooming contest there. So Shelby was panicking to get the phone out every 5 minutes to get the video recording so she could get a film of the dogs that were all decked out and groomed. Some of them were just pretty dogs, but the grooming show was pretty cool. At first, I didn't know if they were grooming actual dogs or just like fake stuffed animals. That's not the word. Mannequins, dog mannequins, Danikins. That's probably not right. Dogikins. But they were moving the dogs and shifting them around. There was a bunch of fake ones in the front, so I was like, oh, those are just like what they use for the shows. But no, I guess they use their own dogs or trained dogs that are provided by the show. I don't know how it really works, but there's pretty much 2 kinds of dogs. Ones were like the little tiny poodles, the white fluffy ones, and then the other ones were like these weird long nose. Huh?
Those are not poodles. They're like Pomeranians.
Pomeranian. I don't know what they were, but they're fluffy, small, and white. And I don't even know what the other dogs were, but they all looked old and ancient and with really long faces and hair that covered their eyes.
Those were, I figured that out.
Kind of looked like really tall Scottish terriers.
Yeah,
somewhat.
they are a terrier. I can't remember off the top of my head. Welcome in the vet, fish family, Laura, Beauty and the Buds says, Myra's gotten so big, those eyes and that pout, Grant will never be able to tell her no for anything. He's just joking about that. I was like, there's no way. You're already struggling with Layla, let alone Myra. He's weak when it comes to them. But if anyone gets a chance, check out Beauty and the Bud. She just posted a new video, and it's really great. I love to see it. Welcome in, Skipper. Back to you.
I was checking out the Eheim booth. When we first got started in the aquarium shrimp hobby, Eheim, I'm probably not even saying that right, but it's a German company, and they're like the green canister filters, right? And they were like the most popular, best shrimp canister filter out there. And then I was actually talking to the guy. So there was somebody that had exclusive rights to Eheim for the United States. And when he lost those rights, he went around and told everybody that Eheim was no longer selling to the United States. And I remember this being like a whole thing. So when I saw them at the booth, I'm like, yeah, I'm happy that you guys are selling in the United States again. It would be cool to set up some of these canister filters and try them out again. Like you used to have to get them like secondhand and whatnot, and I never trust any of that. And the guy's like, no, that's what happened is that they spread a rumor, but it wasn't true. So we're here. We're trying to get our presence known to the United States again. And he saw me taking apart and looking at the canister filter, and it's got a little shrimp attachment. It's got a little extender on it. You can stuff the extender with more filter media or material to prevent shrimp from going up into the canister filter. And gave me one of his cards so I can reach out to him and get a canister filter to try out. So that's pretty cool. You don't really see companies like that trying to make an impact and get back to it. And they didn't even know that I had a YouTube channel or anything like that. They're just like, oh, you deal with shrimp, the story behind us here, try to tell people that we're still selling filters in the United States again. So that was cool to see them. Then there was also the Nerf gun booth. I'm not going to talk about all the booths and everything. These are just like some of the highlights. But the Nerf gun booth is all for like dog and cat toys. We actually have one of the cat ones, even though we don't have a cat. I saw it on clearance. I was like, the girls are bound to convince me to get a cat one day, but not anytime soon, right? So it's in the closet. It could go up on Jaden's Nerf wall or whatever if we wanted to, but there's other toys and like tennis launchers and stuff like that for the dogs. But they were giving away $500 worth of Nerf gun stuff. And all you had to do is shoot and make it into the target. And the guy's like, I'll give you four chances. And then as I'm about to load it, he's like, watch him make it in one. And I made it the first shot. And then it took some convincing. I finally convinced Shelby to do it. Shelby made it in her first shot. So we had 2 tickets and didn't even win the secondary raffle that they gave out because there's so many people there. And there was some like cat influencer there that was doing the raffle for them. And yeah, that didn't go well because the person that won just seemed like she was mad. Like, oh, great, I'm going to have all these stupid Nerf stuff in my house now. And it's like, come on, lady. Like, why'd you even participate if that's how you're going to act?
It was so disappointing. Like usually people are like excited and she was just like, and just takes it. It was just like, okay.
The lady
like,
that,
cool.
Or the person, I can't remember who, but whoever won the $250 one was at least grateful.
Yeah, she was great. She was jumping around. I was just so mad. The person that wins the most is so ungrateful. And I'm over there. I didn't even know it was for like money for them. I just wanted the tennis ball launcher. I thought it was just for that. I thought they were just showcasing and raffling that off. And I was like, oh, $500 of dog toys. That's cool.
But then on top of that, I talked about the food wasn't really as good as last time. But
welcome in, Richard.
I did see like a advertisement for like the Hershey's thing at Vegas when I was like scrolling on Facebook or something like that, and I was like, that was right across the street from the hotel we stayed at last time, and we couldn't find ice cream. So I was like, if we're craving ice cream and we're going to, especially with how hot and dry it is in Vegas, it's like if I'm spending $10 for a drink, it might as well be ice cream. And so we went over to the Hershey's factory. I found some lemon Kit Kat bars that were pretty good. Shelby got a peanut butter brownie thing that she forgot all about and never even ate because the milkshakes that we got were really good. They were really
so thick.
They were really thick. But like I got a Hershey's cookies and cream. I love white chocolate, and I think that's what sold me on wanting to go there. Is they had a white chocolate milkshake with Hershey's cookies and cream chocolate on top. They like dolled up every milkshake, so it was kind of fancy, and it was really fast. Like they had a station just for making milkshakes, pretty much. So it wasn't that long of a wait. I probably should have bought more of that lemon chocolate, but I was like convinced that it was going to melt, but somehow it made it all the way through the airport and all the way home, and I ate it here instead of during the trip. I thought it was going to.
The only thing that went bad was my brownie. They're like fresh baked, and then it was wrapped in like a little paper
Parchment
bag.
paper.
Yeah, it was, and it didn't stay fresh, unfortunately. Beauty said, I have 2 cats. It took a bit to train them not to drink out of my uncovered tanks. They love fish and shrimp, watching now, and don't disturb the tanks a bit. We had a cat at one point, and it ate all of our baby axolotls, and that was like the end of Grant ever wanting a cat again. And the only other cat we have been considering is a bigger one. I'm allergic to cats, as I
And
am also
Jaden
allergic to my
is
dogs.
also really bad around
Yeah.
cats.
So, and like we just tear up, our face gets real puffy. We're miserable for a little bit, so we have to find the right cat. So it's not like he's just not, but like also the only cat I might not be allergic to is kind of like a wild cat, and I think this would be a major playhouse for her, not necessarily the best place for her. I say her because I like girl cats.
But overall, the trip was a lot of fun. We do really enjoy aquascaping, even if it's to cover expenses
Or
and
laying on the
whatnot.
floor.
But we really enjoyed going out there, and Fluval's a really great company to work with. They really enjoy our work. They're always so happy with it. They ordered a bunch of plants for all of the tanks, and because you have to ship them in early, because it was Vegas, we learned last year like a lot of the stem plants ended up melting. So we came prepared this time. We brought a bunch of our own plants, a lot of red, so we were able to put a little pop and color into some of the aquariums. But every time we, not every time, but like we do different aquascaping contests, and we work with different vendors, and we get to work and order from different wholesale plant nurseries and stuff like that, right? And this was our first time being able to order from Fan. It's like the largest nursery here in Florida for aquatics. It is Fan Florida Aquatic Nurseries, and they only sell to wholesalers. And even though we might wholesale a little bit of moss here and there, we don't wholesale plants. We don't really do push the numbers to be able to buy from Fan. But I've always been like curious on prices and portions and stuff like that. And we know what like plants are great for aquascaping. So generally, when we do plant orders and stuff like that, it's pretty much the same kind of plants. Like we like to order extra plants for Aquashella just in case, we need something for our scapes. And generally it's what we sell at the tables is what we use in our aquascape. So it works out. And being able to order from this company, they sent the price list. So everything that we usually buy is pretty much priced out, so we can see how cheap we could possibly get it from them, and like even price out some of our own plants differently, because the moss cups that go around all these fish stores, they're not pretty, and they're immersed growth moss, and like the prices of them, I've never really known until now. I still haven't looked at the sheet, so I technically still don't know, but I have the ability to go pull it out, take a look at it, so we can start figuring out how to wholesale moss more in the future, because we're able to pump out and grow a ton of moss, and portioning them out like that. We don't usually do. We sell them in bulk bags so the companies can do it themselves. But there's a lot of companies that don't want to do that, and it's like, all right, well, I can figure out pricing now, and set that accordingly.
Welcome in, Fish Frenzy. And there was someone else. Uncle Smiley's, welcome in.
But there was a lot of plants left over, and the guys at Fluval and Hagen, they were just going to throw away the plants. So I'm like, I'm going to take them. They're like, what are you going to do with them? I'm like, I'm going to try to sneak them on the plane. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, even if I can't get them in the bag, this is a bag. Like, I'll just walk it through this as my carry-on. And we're allowed 2 bags on our flight, and I only brought 1 here, so this will work. And they're both laughing, and I'm like, whatever. Shelby's aunt was gonna get the kids some clothes, and was like, is there room in your suitcase? And we're like, well, not really, but if you had an extra one, she already had offered, we'll take it. So she gave us a little rolling bag. So we took all of our clean clothes plus the clothes that she bought the kids, put them in one suitcase, all dirty clothes into one book bag, and then I put my plant baby, because it was a lot of plants, and it pretty much filled up the entire backpack. And that's what I walked through. And we go through security, and bag gets pushed off to the side. Next bag gets pushed off to the side. I'm like, well, my plants are definitely getting inspected because we've got two bags and they both look very similar, and I couldn't remember which bag was which. And then our suitcase also gets put off to the side, and I'm like, we're going to be here for a while. The first bag got put off to the side for one of Myra's books. It's just a real kid thick cardboard book, and they had to flop through all the pages to make sure there wasn't something carved out and hidden in there.
It's like one of those books that have like a pop-out thing too, so it looks like in an x-ray probably like someone carved a hole and put something in.
And then the plant bag, it got flagged because there was mother plants, and the mother plants were in pots. And I was like, I don't want to get rid of the pots. I kind of want to keep everything as it is and get home and just plop them right down. And I've got this one tub that's really low water out there. And I'm like, it'll be perfect for these tubs. They were, by the way, I don't know if I told you already, but plopped them right in. And I wanted to make sure I kept them that way. And so I bagged them all around the pots, and I stacked up all these other plants. There's a ton of Java ferns, Anubias, different varieties, and swords. Did I say swords? Java ferns, Anubias, and some crypts. And then some parrot feather and just oddballs, things here and there, right? Some Aponagitans. And we went ahead and talked with the guy as he did the entire thing. I was like, you can go ahead, take it out if you want. They're just plants, and I know they're legal in Florida. I've already ordered all of these ones, so I'm not worried about anything. And the guy was like, nope, everything's good here. And I was like, well, while we're here in the side, like how would plant or live fish be taken through? Like, would I have been all right? And the guy's like, no. And then the girl next to him's like, no, you're allowed. And the guy's like, oh, really? I've never heard of that. And she's like, I've never seen it, but I know you're allowed. And I was like, oh, well, you guys came really close. And they were both upset that we didn't, actually. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. We pointed to the baby. I'm like, I'm trying not to get any more mouths to feed, but there was some nice extra fish that were given to the tanks at Fluval. I could have brought home some puppy dogs, basically.
Laura said, do you carry non-immersed growth moss?
So all of our moss that we sell on the website is submerged underneath water. We don't have any that is grown above water. Nothing like that it is set up. But all of our mosses that we grow would do well in an immersed setup.
Sorry, I'm blind. Welcome in, Gnarly and Linda and Geek Boy. There's a few that came in. Night Owl Aquatics, member for 35 months. Thank you so much. Said hello, y'all. Dang, almost 3 years. Where does the time go? And it's been going really fast. And
this year, I would say, has been the fastest year. It's already August, and Myra's about to be a year old. And that, to me, is insane because it feels like just yesterday, Jimmy was in the house filming.
Thank you, Dee Dee, plugging in all the TikToks and things on our website.
Oh, all right. So she brought up the Plamsky thing. There was some stuff I needed to talk about at the beginning of the live stream, but Myra jumped in and we started talking about her flight experience. So I just dove into the Vegas segment. This is pretty much your last chance to get your Plamsky foods. They do expire this month. They're on sale. All of the foods that expire I'm just gonna open them up and put them into our own little Ziploc bag, and have my own larger bags to go ahead and feed throughout the house. We've fed expired shrimp foods to the house with no problems throughout the years. So just know that the Plamski foods, they are on sale. They are going to expire. I do believe it is this month.
September.
I think it
Oh,
was
some of them are
8th.
August.
I think it's, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty much your last chance to get your Plamski foods. Then after that, we probably will not be carrying them anymore. We didn't buy that much food compared to like what we buy with Shrimp Envy and Glass Garden foods that move a lot quicker. We were selling a lot of the Plamski's sampler packs, but not a lot of the individual foods themselves. So this is our last time carrying these products that they'll be available on our website. So get them now. Shipping costs on the website have gone up every July and December every year. Shipping prices go up. It is now like, did you say $18.50 to ship a flat rate box inside Florida, which is nuts because like to Washington was $17.50. So
I have it flat rate at $17.50. So there's going to be a lot of them that we actually lose a lot of money on while we figure out shipping, because there is other ways to ship that we might be able to get cheaper shipping, but with our time and everything that's going on, we haven't had time to sit down and figure it out. Hopefully we'll figure that out before later.
But there's free shipping on orders over 150 now, instead of 100. We just looked at the numbers and we were losing a lot of money just the shipping in this past year. So that is some of the changes to the website, but we are home, shipping out as normal. We're catching up a little bit still, but we're throwing in extras to those who have to wait. But yeah, we're home for the next 3 weeks until Aquashella Jersey, getting everything ready for the shrimp contest. I'm not absolutely positive if shrimp registration is up. I know that should be live. Shelby's gonna check on it. Any second, any day now, if it's not already live. So a lot of things that we've had to take care of. There's a koi clownfish, a stingray contest, and then of course the shrimp contest. It is up there. Registration is live. So I think we need to change the prices still. I got that approved by John, not John, George. And so if you're listening, if you try to place 2 or more groups, the first one should be the first entry should be $25. Every entry after that should only be $5. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get that, but we'll try to figure that one out.
I'm trying to fix it because it'd be mostly your cost to get in, and then that helps with shipping back. But necessarily trying to get more entries into the show, $25 a pop is quite expensive, especially when you already have to spend money in shipping.
But we have to take an entry fee because of the shipping fees to receive it at the expo. Sometimes it was up to $16. Those prices could always go up, but that's like a receiving and holding fee from the convention center or hotels, wherever we have the contest at. And then, of course, to ship back your awards, you can ship in your shrimp and we can ship them back to you. But next week's live stream will be on the shrimp contest. But it's a great way to support your hobby, to support your business. There's a couple people who have hung in there, and sales have been pretty good for them because they've won some awards. And there's some people that they're struggling on shrimp sales, and it could be doing a lot better for them if they had some award-winning lines. So that's a great way to get some recognition. in some respect.
Stephen P said that's another reason I've been afraid to fly home with fish. Half the staff don't know it's allowed, and it'll become a whole thing. We were very shocked at how understanding and nice they were. I was really worried the whole time, and I'm like, I hope they understand. And they were good. They just needed to check it out. Like, they were very understanding. I would not say to fly this airline because of the struggles we had. But I feel like every airline, it's the same as long as you're patient with them and try not to like get upset and frazzled. I think that's where people go wrong and have issues, is because like they're not just, hey, this is what I'm bringing across. Is that okay? So
also, here's the thing. Some people are going to go, Grant, they're not just plants, but they're just plants. So I was okay if TSA was going to give us an issue and our flight at all was at risk of us missing it or being late or anything like that. I would have just said, take the plants out of my bag, throw them away. It was a lot of money in plants, but at the end of the day, it didn't cost me anything. But I hate to see them go, but yeah, we would have been better off with plants and saying goodbye to those than fish. I would have really felt horrible if I would have had to leave fish behind. I would have like tried to find somebody that works there that would have given them a home before I got onto the plane. I think that would have been like, I'm trying to like, even if I got to like go up to like the guy at Panda Express and be like, yo, listen, dude, there's some free fish back at TSA. If you want to grab them before you go home, find them a home, give them to your nephew or something. Or yeah, but I don't know.
I think most of the time it comes down to the amount of liquid that's in the bag. That's where the issue arises. Laura said, what's your best performing shrimp right now?
The Blue Diamonds. Blue Diamonds are phenomenal. I think that line over the years.
Selling?
I think honestly both. Blue Diamonds are a great seller. They're also producing a lot. Yellows right behind them. Well, what do you think is our best producing shrimp right now? Huh?
Black Rose always produce so much.
But I don't think they're performing though in the sales department. Yeah, I think there's a lot of them because we don't sell that
Black
many.
Rose.
I think if we had the same dilemma with other shrimp, they'd be in the same boat as the
I'm
Black
actually
Rose.
surprised we don't sell. For years and years, people begged us for green emeralds. Now we have them on the website. We're not selling them. It's just crazy to me. I wish green jades. I wish we could get them to produce like we do the green emeralds.
They're getting there outside.
Yeah.
They're getting there. I don't know what happened in the pond.
Everyone keeps asking for green jades now.
I don't know what happened in that pond. All of the blue ram's horn snails keeled over.
Is that in the far left corner? The pond that I never touched? Yeah. That's why I didn't know what's in there. But yeah, I don't think there was enough for them because snails like have to eat at a constant rate, and it was just still a newly set up, and I wasn't feeding them because I didn't know there were snails in there.
I was overfeeding them when I go in there, so.
I hope that answered. Yeah, blue diamonds seem to be the one that most people want, and it breeds really good. Yellows do the same. Reds are always a constant, and we do sell wilds pretty well. But when I sell wilds, I sell 100 at a time. It drives me crazy.
There's going to be 100 coming through.
It's so. Sorry.
I just told her that somebody just ordered 100 wilds, and she goes, no.
The cord we have right now is right in where we are. We used to have a long one, but the kids, over time were not paying attention and broke it. So sorry if we keep muting ourselves. I just tapped it.
There's like 3 things that are on my to buy list here. Once we
running a business, there's like 400 items.
Well, there's 3 things at the top. One of them
is a cord.
Is the cord for the Shure mic, but I want to get like a Shure cord. One that comes factory.
Sure.
Yeah. Another one is like a nice lapel mic. Why can I not remember the brand of our gimbal?
What gimbal? What are you
The
talking about?
gimbal that we have.
Oh
The only,
gosh, I hate that thing.
But
DJI.
but yeah, the DJI mic, lapel mics.
Welcome in,
I think that
SD Catahulas.
that'll put us ahead on getting more videos cranked out. And then an RO unit, we're gonna just buy a smaller one. I think that's the move.
As I'm editing, mind you, I am editing a shrimp tour room of Shrimp and V. As I'm editing, I am regretting not bringing the DJI camera because I am a little shaky, so I'm having to edit out little pieces here, and it's not bad. Like, there's still good clips, and you'll not see it in the film because it'll be stabilized, but man, the amount of editing I'm having to do because I'm like this holding
what
it.
might be wrong with our gimbal? We might just need to plug the gimbal into the computer and give it a software update. The only problem with the gimbal is you'll be filming, and then all of a sudden you'll be like in the middle of it, and then it'll just go and then collapse on you and be like, why did you do that? Nobody pressed anything. You're not dead. What's going on, gimbal? It's just like it was holding a bunch of bricks out, and then it just, I can't do it no more, mate. That's it.
Jesse said, can't wait to see y'all at Aquascaping. Yeah, that's exciting. You have a booth, right?
Yes.
That's really cool. I know someone asked me about if someone had a booth there, and I saw yours, so that's exciting. I hope you guys do really well, too.
And I'm sure you got enough shrimp to enter some into the shrimp contest as well, so looking forward to that.
I haven't read anything out.
Thank you, Dee Dee, for pimping out our hookers.
That was a good one.
Our hooker moss, for those that aren't reading chat.
The Jersey show is September.
It's in 3 weeks.
I still have
it.
It. We're
It's
good.
right there.
We're good.
It was right there.
No. Was it?
Yeah.
Where? It was not right there.
Right there. No, never mind. That's the address. I'm sorry.
It is here because I obviously did it September.
No, that's the third. Just go to the front page of Aquascaping. We'll get there. Skipper. The 6th and 7th.
You had to say it before me, didn't you? Just couldn't let me say it. There we go. Jesse had it way before we did. Do they open bags or just observe? So they just
They observed, but here's the thing. I didn't wrap. I talked to Chance.
Just clear.
And Chance told me that he doesn't like to bring them on because they always give him troubles. They gave us troubles. They pulled us to the side, right? But it was quick. And I think he has to open up all of his bags and unwrap them because he wraps all of his plants in little wet paper towel. And it's great for the plants. I don't like to do it. If you can get enough moisture in the bag, it preserves the leaves a little bit better, but they don't last and survive as long. So if it's just a quick travel, it's good, no paper towel. And I think that's why I was able to get through TSA, because it was just a bunch of clear bags with plants in it. The only issue really was that they were in pots. They did want to take over the pot and open them up, but the guy was like, probably they got a baby, and then there looks like a lot of plants here. Yeah. It's just a plant baby. Let them go.
Yeah, we kept telling them, we were like,
I was
just open it up.
I'll show you.
Like,
I'm sure Shelby was gonna film it too, like me showing off my plant baby to TSA. But
I know I should have filmed. I was so exhausted. I was just thinking about getting home, and but it was funny because I told him, I was like, I know we're weird, but we're not like super weird. It's just plants. I'm like, we're aquatic people, and I'm like, we're trying to explain it. And I was like, and he was like, you're not weird. I'm like, yeah, we're not as weird as the reptile people. We were those people too. Scuba season. I flew home with a blood parrot from Dallas to Louisville, Kentucky. It was an experience to say the least. You gotta try it. A blood parrot, that thing's huge. I love blood parrots though.
So I think what's gonna happen is Harley and Mike are gonna get me everything ordered for a traveling tank, and then I'll have to put it together. I wanted Mike to just put one together for me, and then I'll just scape it and set it up all freshwater. But he's like, no, you're not allowed to do that. So it's part of the initiation process is building your own. And I'm sure once I have a traveling tank, I'll bring that one everywhere.
Yeah. Anna said that they'll let you through as long as they know it's a fish in a bag and it's alive. Yeah, that makes sense. Sound. Scotty is on it as soon as it happens. I have that gimbal. I can relate. Yeah. The first time, so one of our videos, it was like a tour through a really cool, what do you call it? A sanctuary here. And it's only like an hour from us, right? Or is it? Yeah.
Chase Animal Rescue?
Yeah. So it's a really cool place. And we were like, oh, let's try out the gimbal. Let's get serious on this. And I start using it, and it's like I'm filming the sloth thing, and it's like, here's the sloth is up here, and it just keeps doing this. And I'm like, I'm about to throw my phone and this gimbal across the room here in a second because it's aggravating me. And I just couldn't. And I've gotten better at it. I've used it at a couple things. I'm a tripod person. I definitely would like to use that if I can. I don't know what it is with that gimbal, but I did like Vibes has a really nice, I think his is a DJI one as well, but his is like a newer model than ours. We have like the big clunky white one that's like hold. I think he like puts his down and it really does a really good job at like following you.
Ours will do that too.
It did a decent job, but there was a time where we used it for like the pool or something. And after like 30 minutes, it decided it wasn't going to follow us anymore. So then it was just staring off into space. And I don't know how long it went without, recording at the time. It's been so long.
I think it just might need an update.
Yeah, something. But man, I think it's annoying. Scotty says, are you guys entering shrimp into the class show, or can I use you for judging?
So we have Jacob Waters is already planning on judging. If I have to get him set up with some information or something, send me the link and I'll send it to him. I forget. I think I talked to Jenna about this, and there's like something in volunteers. I was supposed to follow that and send that on to Jacob, I think. But we'll probably enter. I think one of the things we enjoy about the Clash is like the medal award ceremony. I don't like the fact that there isn't anything to eat during that time. So as soon as the vendor room closes, I'm probably going to miss the first 5 to 10 awards because I'm going to go get a pretzel in Philly to go. And then I'm going to eat it in the room and give my fries to Ryan like I did last year. What? You get your own Philly and your own fries, okay?
I might eat mine and yours. The baby might eat all of it. No, she doesn't eat fries.
Yeah, no French fries.
No salt.
I'm struggling with letting her eat cake in a month. It's kind of crazy. Like no sugar. It's fun. It's so fun watching her just eat single ingredient food still. Like she is so over the top with everything right now that she's eating. So the only thing that she has not really made a face with was a perfectly ripe plum. Everything else, she acts like
peaches. It's... She thought that was the best thing in the world.
And not at first. She gave a face, and then she wanted more. And it was the same with the plum, but she made no face. And then
they don't really have flavor.
I've got some newts. I've got some sirens. I've got some.
It's my sirens.
I've got Scotty. I've got the want to go collecting to grab a bunch of fish. Like a ton of Achilles fish, enter them all into the contest, and then just give them to you afterwards. So that's the plan.
Scotty says, I'm planning on attending Aquascaping Saturday. Be there or be square. Cool. You can enter shrimp. You have some nice blue bolts.
And pure black line.
Right.
And if you wanted to help us tear down on Sunday or set up on Thursday, we could help you get into the show. Or
volunteer
enter some shrimp in the contest and you get a VIP ticket into the show anyways. And it'll be scannable this time for the first time as if you got a ticket, and you don't have to wait in line. You can just get your wristband when you show them your QR code thingy.
Steven says, do you have a big phone or a small phone? I think it just barely sort of capable of handling a big phone.
It's a bigger phone. It is. It's a honker.
It's a Galaxy.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
They're pretty big. Yeah.
And they've only gotten bigger since we've gotten it, honestly. So we haven't tried. Also,
I would take off the case and it works, but then I'm too scared that it's gonna fling my phone off because it's too light.
That is the problem.
The baby needs pretzels. Maybe if they weren't salted or buttered too much. The butter and salt is too much, and with my family and my history, like, we're just trying to reduce the amount of salt intake in general. But yeah, she would definitely like pretzels. I know she's going to be a big pretzel
eat
person.
the inside of one of my pretzels.
I do get pretty hungry during the award stuff. Yeah.
The award ceremony is brutal. I wish we could bring back some type of food, even if we all had to pay for it, and then you just have a section of people who didn't want to pay for food. It's okay. They've got weird stomachs.
Scotty doesn't need any more killies. Yeah, I wish Silhouettes did have like their own category, but unfortunately not yet. They're not to that point where they'd be able to be interbred in cool colors.
But
They're
the blue
just a wild
bolts,
shrimp. But blue bolts,
the blue bolts are usually show stunners. Fan favorite.
So there's food trucks. There was food trucks last time.
I'm not quite sure if they were open at that hour though. I know there was food trucks during the day because I got a milkshake. I remember getting a milkshake. I remember walking through the Clash with a milkshake with a big smile on my face.
One thing's for sure, if I'm going to give a show a rating, it's 100% on its ability to get me food. If you don't have food nearby, I rate you pretty low.
But the Clash, I love the Clash because it's got pretzels and Phillies, and the Phillies are better than any Philly we can get in Florida still.
Oh, man. We have to go to a place down the street. Where is that?
We will.
I don't know what that was, but
I don't know the name of it. And then we'll go to the Windmill Diner to get our pie on the way home.
Yeah, we can't. You can't leave without a pie.
Yeah, we'll do that for sure.
But yeah, Keystone is always the best one. So Shelly has her priorities, right? For sure. There's a lot of shows I've been to where I hadn't ate all day because there was not
mainly Aquascaping and Gaylord Palms. Gaylord Palms was the absolute worst show for food, period. I know Layla was still awake. She walked by not that long
ago. They're watching the baby.
Oh, all right.
Otherwise, she'd be pulling out the cords.
But they had like one restaurant open in the place for food, and everybody was trying to get food for it. I think her brother waited 25 minutes for like a really crappy pizza one time. But yeah, the Shady Maple is where it's at the very end of the road when you leave the Clash, and everybody goes there, and it's got the tables in the back.
Largest buffet in the U.S.
Oh, never mind, not that one. We haven't been to the Shady Maple.
We're gonna have to look that up because we already had a very you can ask Tim and a very disappointing buffet, and we all like. I just remember eating a bite, looking up across from Tim, and we both had the same look on our face. It's just like, no, this is not it. Like, we need 10 pounds of butter, salt, and pepper just to make this edible. It was bad.
And yes, one of the cleaning people at the end of the show threw away the plate of Shelby's pizza. Yeah. And it's like,
oh man, that killed me. That would make my whole trip like awful. I literally would just start crying. I was like, can anything just get worse? I am sorry, but it is me. I have bad luck in my family, some bad juju or something. I'm trying to overcome it, but everything that involves me, for some reason, especially food, I get my order wrong. Everything's wrong. I even tried convincing Grant to gamble in Vegas, just $1 at the machine. I was like, you do it. He's like, no, it seems like you want to. I was like, I want to, but I can't. I have no luck. Please gamble for me. So we're going to have to bring someone else next year that will take my dollar to go gamble. Someone's got to be lucky. I just don't luck out sometimes. Oh, Jesse said I got my hands on some albino ribbed nudes.
There was some at the show.
Ew. Ew, ew, ew. Ew.
I'm allergic to your disapproval.
I love the other ones, but not the albino ones. Those just gross me out. They were cute. I did like them. Don't get me wrong, but they're just. It's like how Grant feels about pugs. They're ugly.
So you're agreeing pugs are ugly.
I mean, pugs aren't the cutest dog in the world, obviously, but I feel
Trust
like
me,
they're my cute
Their
dog in the world.
looks are not why I don't want one.
Big back. I could use a cheesesteak and pretzel, but I probably won't get to eat much because I'll be winning some real awards. That is true. I can't wait to see your medallion, like 20 awards.
I don't know, man. You're going to be competing against Ryan. I think there's going to be a good amount of people from Florida. We might actually sweep a little Pasco entry,
Stampede barbecue. Shady Maple, is that smorgasbord? It's the same thing? There's no way. That was gross. Our daughter threw up there.
A lot.
I will never be there.
The only thing she liked to eat there was the Jell-O and the pudding. And then at the end, it all came out. And it was pink and all over the place.
Buffets are not all created equal. 100%.
And there was no flavor in any of the food.
We have not been back to a buffet since COVID. After a couple friends of ours who are no longer our friends, by the way, this was a good deciding factor too. Had COVID, all of them, and then decided to go to a buffet where they were going to spread it to everybody else. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with buffets after COVID. And I only cared for like Piccadilly when I was younger. And I even talked to Steven and Jenna about it all the time because I still see some of them. And I was like, is it going to give me that good feeling, or is it just like that kid who doesn't like, pepper or any spice in their food? And that's why Piccadilly was so great for me. That was the day Shelby went Super Saiyan 2. Oh, man. I just crumbled, honestly. I didn't even have enough energy to be mad. I was just so sad. Someone was like, man, Grant and Shelby are fighting. And I'm like, man, I just wanted pizza. I don't know what you guys are going on about.
Will you go get the net?
Oh. Yeah, where is Annette? How dare she?
I said the net.
I know. Oh my God. I'll get there eventually. Oh, there's a shrimp left in this tank.
All right, so
I'm just gonna stare at this screen.
I was reading the chat to make sure there was nothing else. Last week, the last live stream that we did, we had Benny Tay over here, and of course, it's hard to talk crap about Benny Tay when he's sitting right next to you. So I thought I'd wait. I haven't seen him in chat recently, so no, I'm just kidding. His visit was quite lovely. Right out of the airport, I asked him if there was anything that he'd want to do in Florida besides visiting my house and doing his talk for our club. And he had mentioned that we have some carnivorous plants, and I was like almost instantly going to be like, I'm sorry, that's like 3 or 4 hours north of where I'm at. But then he goes sundews, and I'm like sundews, and I'm like, I've got those. I've actually got a good location for those, and it's on the way back to my house. So we stopped there, and they were all over the place. Just one.
They're all different sizes.
I know. So just pick one.
Okay.
So obviously we've got a couple of these to give away. Wait, this was not to give away.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a bunch of these?
Here's another pack.
No, this is for me.
No.
Yeah, this one's for me. I think just I'll double check with him, but yeah. Anyways, the lake had a bunch of sundews. I showed him the Xyrus and the Eros as well. Then we came back to my house. I gave him a quick tour of the inside, a quick tour of the outside. We went and grabbed food. Can't remember where we went for lunch.
You had me at sundews. You said something about sundews?
That's what Benny wanted to see when he was here. So we went to our lake to go see those. And then
Mike, you don't have them down by you?
They're everywhere in ditches, usually where the water levels receded a little bit.
Next time you come up for a meeting and we're not busy, maybe we can take you to see some.
But Benny got a good tour of the house beforehand. But when we got back from eating lunch, we went ahead and filmed outside. It's really easy to film outdoors when the sun's up, but not into the water, right? And then we went out to dinner. We took him to our hot pot, which I wanted to know compared to other hot pots that he's had. And he said it was pretty good. It was one of the better meals that he had in the United States. So happy to hear that. And then we came back to the house and he filmed all of the tanks. We fed him. He came in behind us. I didn't have all the tanks scraped, but there was some tanks that he wanted to film. I was able to scrape those for him while he was here. He actually wanted to get some footage of me working in the tank, so I did an entire row. Beauty and the Buds asked what is hot pot. It's like Korean barbecue. There's a grill in the middle where you can cook all your food on, as well as a bowl of soup with its own hot plate. So that would be the hot pot to the Korean barbecue that we go to. But the hot pot, you can throw in noodles and vegetables and all these other things to make your own soup, however the way you want it. I like to cook my dumplings in it and my bok choy. Bok choy really soaks up all the flavors from the soup. So we really enjoy this spot. So this is where we take all of our guests when they come and speak. And we went through and filmed all of the aquariums that he wanted to. He even got to see our bedroom and the shrimp that Shelby's got going on in there. And then the next day, I picked him up early.
None of my pintos came out for him.
No.
My good shrimp, my best shrimp in the room were just like, no, thank you.
He could see them, but through the grass. It wasn't filmable, but he knew they were in there. And so we went ahead and got them early the next day. Usually when we have speakers like Dr. Anthony, when he comes into town, we're really busy catching shrimp and getting things ready. And the speakers are on like jet lag, time differences, and stuff like that. So the doc, I let him sleep in a little bit. There's breakfast at the hotel, and then I get my orders shipped out, pick him up, drive him straight to the meeting. I grabbed Benny Tay early because he wanted to catch some shrimp. And honestly, I was honored that he wanted to take some of my shrimp with him back to Singapore. I've had my shrimp go to Germany, Guam, Brazil, Costa Rica, and stuff like that, but never actually make it into Asia. So that was a first for me. He took home some of my zebra ghostbies, some of my orange-eyed yellow tiger culls, which he wanted orange-eyed yellow King Kongs, and I didn't really have enough of those in my pure tanks. So I was like, if you're not looking for pure ones, though, you can basically go and cull my orange-eyed yellow tiger tanks and just take the ones that don't have stripes. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I don't mind. You're basically culling my tanks for me. So he grabbed some out of there, and then he grabbed some of my yellow King Kong Mizuras. They're more of a thing in the in Germany and in Europe, and not really in Asia. So pretty cool that he took some of my shrimp with him back to Singapore.
Bugsy said, I'm excited y'all are coming to my area soon, right?
I'm not exactly sure which spot is your area. We got like 3 or 4 shows in the upcoming.
Yeah, New Jersey's next.
And then
it's
Pennsylvania.
Then
We've
it's
got
South
a
Florida.
show here, and then California. I thought you were in Michigan.
We can cross the California one off. That sounds miserable. I just don't want to do it. What is the flight like? We're definitely going to have to get a layover.
It's going to be like a 5-hour flight. It's not going to be that bad.
There's no way it's an extra hour from Vegas.
It's the next state over.
Next to Nevada.
It was the next state over. It's not that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess. I just don't want to figure out all the shrimp. I don't want to bring them.
I'm telling you, we've got the paintball bag. You know, we haven't
leave
played
my
paintball.
bag alone.
I think it's an Eclipse bag. Never mind. I was like, it's been so long since we played paintball. I can't even remember the brands, but I got it.
No, I can remember all of them. Feels like it was yesterday. Now I'm fat and lazy. Oh man, I can't wait to get back into shape.
You should go on a walk without the kids, and I'll have the kids follow behind with the paintball guns. You won't know it's coming, so you'll leave the house area really quickly. You'll be like, I gotta leave before they can find me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Has anyone seen the Mr. Beast episode where he gets really mad? He gets shot in the knee by a paintball gun. And people were like going on about like, that person's terrible. And I can't believe. And like someone else is like, that's so awful. And I'm over here like, I got like 30 of those shots and one leg, literally point blank. I had a D1? What was it? Or was he a D2 paintball player?
D2.
I don't know, but very professional, does it for a living, gets paid. Hit me point blank in the back of the head with a paintball gun, and I still didn't react like that. It's like, that is crazy, but it does hurt for sure. But some people are just really dramatic about it. And then, what is the number of tanks in the house right now?
500. I don't know.
There might be like 502.
But there's 500 that are set up running.
Richard said, Cynthia and I loved your hot pot. Hopefully we get to go out to dinner again. I enjoyed having that time with you guys. It is really good, though.
It'll be a while before we bring a speaker worthy of you coming back up, though. Unless you want to travel. I mean, if you ever go to your family in Tennessee or
he's saying that because
wherever
I'm the
it
speaker
is
for next month. I'm just kidding.
To swap me.
I know. I just thought it would be funny to
guess you just signed herself up for November.
No. No.
Yeah.
The only reason I would
speak October.
At our club
October.
Would to get practice for the Keystone Clash.
So October.
No, that's after.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
Peru. Took some there. That's awesome.
You took some mushroom there. That's
we
right.
Should get a map and hopefully put where TGOE shrimp has traveled. That'd be cool.
I always like telling people that I got shrimp into Colombia. Like usually people get stuff out of Colombia. We're getting stuff in. So
women handle that kind of thing better. Oh, thank you. That is true. It's funny because you don't see many girls out there, but the girls that are out there are usually really tiny. And I'm like, that's crazy. They're very strong and they're the best players. I hate being so tall and because the bunkers are small. So I'm like, I wish I could shrink to their size and run around. It'd be so much fun. Aquashella Los Angeles in October.
But I wanted to talk about the orange-eyed yellow King Kongs that Benny took. We got those because he was curious on why his orange-eyed blue steels always throw the orange-eyed yellow King Kongs. And I go to Benny a lot for my genetics questions because he's more familiar with the snowfalls and the new varieties that are coming out of Asia. And with the orange-eyed genetics, though, I am familiar because I've been breaking those down and working on them for a few years. And part of what I love about the genetics of shrimp is you can kind of unlock the answers yourself by back crossing and trying to create things with what you think is right. And then, if you are right, obviously the answer will be there in a few generations. But in the early days of the orange-eyed genetics, a lot of people were crossing the orange-eyed blue tigers and things, and because they've got the orange-eyed blue tiger, genetics are very slow, and their breeding was very slow. But as soon as they unlocked the orange-eyed yellow King Kongs, the yellow King Kong genetics, the tangerine tiger genetics that are inside them, are so powerful
the breeding behind them is insane. So this shrimp sanctuary,
That's longer.
it's longer, but they're gonna have to work for it.
I don't even know.
It's right here. But the orange-eyed yellow King Kong genetics are stronger. They're more prolific. They breed quicker. So they use those genetics to cross back with a lot of the orange eyes to get them to produce more numbers, so they can mass produce them and get them to sell more. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense." So that was kind of cool. Got to talk to him about the Stardust, and he says they're Serrata, but nobody's crossed them with anything. Tim just recently added a tank with just male yellow King Kongs and female Stardust, and one of the Stardust ended up getting pregnant, but none of the babies ended up surviving or coming to. So we have not successfully crossed Stardust or raccoons with any other shrimp out there. So and was able to show them his shrimp in person. Benny Tay is who I give credit for like the whole Stardust becoming so popular in the United States.
Scuba said, Grant, you're just out here letting D1 paintballer shoot your girl. So this was all my fault, honestly, because I got a little too cocky because we had been playing for a while. We did a couple tournaments. And I was like, no problem. Like, I didn't think this guy would full on I thought he would just take it easy on, like most people said, the other team is like newbies. Like, we hadn't even been playing for an entire year kind of thing. And that was my bad. I should have sat out. I should have not done it. And I even said to Grant when he was standing there, I was like, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. I was like, no, I got this. And then I did not have that. He ran across the field so fast that I couldn't even like see him run. And he was behind me before I could even.
And Shelby's a
Within
big
minutes.
girl. She can handle herself out on the field. So she plays that side and she gets shot and dropped like that. That's on her. So, but
I was the last one standing.
I was probably no better in that situation either. So
I was the last one standing because I didn't move. I was so scared. I was like, should I run? No.
But
I should have ran.
You don't get any better if you just play the scrubs with that walk onto the field with the rental guns. They're fun. Don't get me wrong, but after they play us one time, they never want to play that field again. So.
Oh yeah. I get really excited because they're really hyped. Usually they're there for a birthday party and they're like, yes, we got this. We're going to take you down.
And we'll be like, all 8 of you versus just like the 3 of us. And they're like, oh yeah, we got this, no problem.
Me and Grant. You don't remember that birthday party that just me and Grant took on? And I was like, Grant's going to take 90% of these kids. I only got to worry about a few of them. And I was like, all right, this is okay. I was like, I wish we had one more person, but it's just me and him. And the other ones were so excited to take us on. And I'm like, if you would have known paintball and you stared at us head to toe and saw we were in full gear and we offered to take on 10 plus of you, I think you should be a little worried. And he didn't realize it till we got on the field, and all of them walked off so defeated because we won. And I felt so bad. They did not come back to the speedball one. It was funny, but it was sad.
I actually like stopped wanting to get flashy like paintball gear and stuff because I was like, I want the noobs to want to play. Like if I walked out there with my Geo 4 decked out in all flashy green hopper and tank and everything, nobody wants to fight me. But if I go down to flat black everything with a flat black tank and just a regular black hopper, nobody's like worried. I'll wear gym shorts and people will be like, yeah, I'll fight that guy. And then it's like, why? What happened?
It bothers people when I was wearing leggings to the field. They're like, you're not wearing protective gear. I'm like, it's still going to hurt regardless. It's not going to change. Alishon said, when do you guys arrive for New Jersey Aquashella?
So
the Wednesday before.
Saturday is Aquashella. That Saturday we set up on Thursday and then we aquascape on Friday. We usually get there Wednesday,
like
very,
1
very,
a.m.
very late.
Yeah, 1, 2 a.m.,
So,
3 a.m. Get like 3 hours of sleep.
I don't know. Layla now gets off sooner at work or from school.
Work.
Don't tell people she's working. Child labor laws they're brutal these days. But when she's done with her morning shift, last year she got home a lot later. So I got to
Now it's
time
at
it out.
5.
If we're able to maybe make it to the Bloomfields on Tuesday night, crash overnight there, then we drive up Wednesday. We'll get there Wednesday at a better time. But
get there till like 3 a.m.
if we're not packed and ready to go by the time Layla's off, we're not doing that. But we might be able to do it since we don't got anything going on from now until then. Like, this is a really nice breather period of 3 weeks. I don't have to worry about speakers. I don't got to worry about really nothing. And whatever doesn't sell in Jersey, I'm leaving packed up and ready to go to the swap meet the following weekend at our Pasco club meeting.
This is hilarious.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hashtag Shrimp Sanctuary. Benny Tay handmade these nets. He brought us a couple of them so we could give them away. This year is yellow. Every year he does a different colored net. So the only way for you to get one of these nets is to enter this giveaway right now. So hashtag Shrimp Sanctuary. You get your custom shrimp net made by Benny Tay.
Yeah.
And I think it's really nice. Carbon fiber, won't rust. It's very good netting. It's one of a kind.
Years ago, my brother shot my dad right between the eyes with a sped up paintball gun because he took his mask off. Taught him a lesson, you know. You gotta be careful with that. Full speed paintball will break skin and it hurts really bad. My head still hurts thinking of it. Entering. You had me at child labor. She's got to keep earn her keep.
I'll say if anybody does it, it is definitely Layla.
Yeah.
She goes over the top to help out around the house.
Probably time for Myra to start putting together a resume too. That is so funny.
Did I tell everybody about how we were catching shrimp out in the ocean? And I was taking seaweed and I was shaking it out. And I caught one in my hand and I held it up for Myra to just take a look at it. She snatched it out of my hand and put it straight into her mouth. I had to stop her from eating the shrimp. And I couldn't believe that she snatched it like that.
Mind you, it's hard to get her to eat things at the time. Now it's better. She's eating just about everything that we give her to taste. But like rocks and shrimp, instantly. I was like, why? Why would you grab that? You don't want the stuff we're eating. Johnny said, do you have your personal paintball gun?
Yes, Shelby has an LV 1.6 and I've got a GO4.
And
Both
Jaden's got
Eclipse.
one too.
Jaden's got
a little, what is that called? It's a mini.
No.
It's a mini.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it's
A mini
called.
GS?
Something like that. It's just like a tiny little shark gun. It's so cute. It's been a while. Jaden doesn't go as
It's not an axe,
paintballing.
but it's made by the same company.
Yeah. Jaden doesn't go as much as he definitely wants to
It's
now.
a mini
He's been
GS.
asking. Nice.
It's an Empire mini GS. Yeah.
He's been asking for a while now. We just haven't had the time. But we'll have to get out there and give
We've
him
got
a good
all full
weekend
setups.
to do that.
It's got to cool off. I've got really low blood pressure, and if it gets too hot, I'll just pass out.
Yeah, it
Can't
was
be a firefighter.
not good last
So I'm a
time.
shrimp breeder instead. Saving lives one way or another, you know?
You weirdo. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm actually really proud of it. A couple times we have thought about selling them because we don't go that often. It's been quite some time. We have the baby and we travel a lot. So it's, but I don't think I'll ever forget those memories, and like they just mean so much to me to be able to compete and have fun doing something like that. So I don't think I'll ever get rid of that gun.
Yeah, and they're also fraud control. If you know, you know.
Oh my gosh. My eyesight's so bad that that looks like skibbity to me. And I'm like, what are people typing in? I'm like, that is bad.
But on later news, the kids are back in school, so our days are freed up a little bit more. So
Maybe yours.
definitely mine. But we will be back to try to do more update videos and stuff like that. Shelby's
working
got
on
quite a
them.
few tour videos in the chamber. But like I said, I want to get that lapel mic, the DJI mic, and it'll be a lot easier for Shelby to put together videos. Also, with some good news, my mom's surgery was a success. So that was something that we were really stressing out about. We still have to figure out moving forward what her treatment's going to be and how everything else is going to be. But the actual surgery itself, she's back home. Got her some flowers from our friend T, who aquascapes, and we're trying to like remember who, or Shelby's trying to figure out flowers. I'm like, who do we know that has flowers on the island? And even though I'm from there, these are people we met completely out of that circle altogether. And he put together, or his mom put together some beautiful flowers for my mom. So thank you, Johnny Best, for the $2 super chat. Nice to see you, man. Appreciate you, and hope you're doing well. If you got any shrimp that are looking big, remember size does matter. We want uniform shrimp. Think about entering them into the shrimp contest. I know you're one of our regulars here, so we're trying to get as many of our followers to enter into the shrimp contest as possible. It's great to see our own circle participate. So yeah, so that was a lot of stress. We were able to go see Shelby's mom. Her mom was in a lot better spirits than I thought she was going to be. She's running around with the kids, and not running, but it was a nice visit. So it's good to be able to put family first and take care of that. And now before the next show, we've got some things we can get done around the house, catch up. But the Bloomfields video is what you're working on now.
A quarter of it done.
So
it's been hard juggling everything, but we're getting there.
So that'll be really cool to see that all done and put together. The room really came together really nice. I know Benny was there for the last international shrimp contest when there was no shrimp in the tanks, and I was like, sorry, we got to see him with shrimp in the tanks. But yeah, he'll have something to come back to the United States in a couple of years. I know he's going to Texas next year. So there's a couple of hobbyists out there that he's going to go and visit. But yeah, he seems like he wants to make a more regular trip to the United States every year. So that'll be great.
Jesse said hats. So I have been looking into it. I don't know. We will not be able to get these before the clash, most likely.
She brought home a sample hat. The hat was like this tall.
I'm so glad I didn't.
And I was like, Shelby, I like the hat. It's nice. It's just, I don't know why it's so tall. And she's like, it's not that tall. And then I put it on and she's like, all right, it's tall. I was like,
but I have been looking, and I started designing one, and then I have it in green, and then I had it in blue, and that's where it stopped, just because I was busy. But that's one style that I wanted to try, and probably just like we did for the garlic knots, I'll probably make like a few different hat designs and let you guys vote on them. I'm hoping that, magically we do so much better in the business and we can make a lot more money and be able to afford hats. They're just so expensive up front, because, the embroidery costs a lot of money. The hat itself costs a lot of money. And to be able to afford all of that at once, we do okay shrimp breeding, but we don't make a bunch of money to like save and put towards things like that, unfortunately. Hopefully it'll get better. It's just with the rising cost of like food and bills, like we did not, I mean,
we're saving up for a van and a new property at the same time.
Thousands of dollars of, like extra bills added on that we did not expect. And we were doing good and started like actually seeing a positive revenue coming through. And then like all the bills that are being raised. Obviously, we're all in the same boat in everybody's situation. So you guys can understand as soon as we can get the money together for hats, that is something that is on the list and we want to do for people. Most of them we just hand out anyways to everybody because we appreciate all your support. So, and towels are on the same list as that, and little hand rags and stuff like that. Those are for the people that have been a member for quite some time. Those will come. Do Stardust handle hard water parameters?
Yeah. One of my favorite stories about the Stardust is I used to have a self-cloning crawfish tank, didn't really do water changes on it, topped it off, overfed it, and threw in algae, moss, and stuff like that when I was trying to get my moss all figured out and whatnot, right? The flood in Jaden's room, I had to tear down all the tanks. I had to repaint them and then reset them all up. And when I did that, I had to take down the self-cloning crawfish tank. I knew I had a bunch of crawfish all over the tank, and I thought I had a bunch of babies on the bottom. But when I ended up catching them all, the babies weren't baby crawfish. They didn't have claws. They ended up being baby Stardust. So with no water change, with the harder water and everything like that, they ended up doing phenomenal. And it was that at that point where I was like, you know what, anybody can start shipping these off and selling them to tap water and stuff like that. What camera and counter setup would you guys suggest? I'm thinking about dabbling in some videos. Counter?
I mean, I think they're asking like how to set it up. Depends on what you're doing exactly, on what would look best. Camera, usually the phones are really good nowadays that you don't need like some fancy schmancy camera. Now, if you want to get serious, you can get like Nikons and things like that.
If you're going to spend money and want to get serious, Sony has the best camera. Yes. Every single professional that has come by to video the house, every single like big timer at all the shows and everything like that, it's always a Sony camera.
And I would say the lapel mics, the little personal mics, are very important nowadays because people want to hear that audio. They want it crisp and clear. So just talking through your phone isn't going to cut it. You do need to have like a good mic.
This is a Shure mic. I got this one when my leg was broken for my birthday. Shelby was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I want to start doing live streaming." So we kind of splurged on the mic. It is like one of the better brands on the market. I ended up just getting the what is this thing called? The arm. I don't know what this thing is. The actual the mount for the mic with the mic
Extended
itself.
Arm, I think.
Yeah, the adjustable arm for the mic, and it attaches to a tray table is what we use, so we can slide it out when we need it and put it away when we don't.
Fancy schmancy setup, but the mic's nice. But
yeah.
Some tray tables that are like 20 years old, these things are solid. I mean, honestly.
And I don't know how good or how bad our internet is tonight. We're not even plugged in. The last few live streams for sure, it has been real spotty. But we are getting new internet tomorrow. So we're going to go from 600 megabits to 3 gigs. So the next live stream, hopefully you guys see a big improved difference, and we could increase the quality, maybe from 1080p to 4K through our phone if the internet's better. But when we were trying to run the phone to the computer, it just made it even more laggy. So we run just the built-in web mic.
Richard said, I've got the next couple of weeks off if there's something you need help with. And Jesse said, I'll text you about the hats after the stream. Rocking 2003 with the trucker hats. My millennial taste would definitely be into it. They were nice. They were from iCast. They're performance hats. Pretty good price for performance hats, but they are just like the slightly taller that you usually see fishermen wearing. Not normal people. We like this style. Yes.
You look not
I don't know
okay,
what's wrong.
especially on camera. So if you need to get off because you have a migraine, I can handle it from here.
It's like it's too much.
Let's do the giveaway. Hashtag Shrimp Sanctuary. I can do it without you.
Okay.
All right. You can go lay down.
I don't know if I can make it.
You need help?
I don't know.
Well, hashtag Shrimp Sanctuary. I'm going to make sure.
Call. You know, you'll hear it. It'll be a loud thud. You know, it won't be quiet. Taking something down with me.
I'll make sure Shelby gets to the thing before I pull it.
We're good. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, I can't wait till I get a van and then I could like set up a little table down by the river and say I sell shrimp down by the river. Which shrimps do you currently wish were selling better? Black Rose. Me and Shelby were talking about that earlier. We've got a ton of Black Rose. I definitely wish the Black Rose were selling better. But that's kind of selfish of me, right? I wish all around that Caradina sales across the market were doing better. There's so many breeders out there who gave up Neo Caradina just to focus on Caradina, because like you can only have so many tanks, and once you've got the RO water running and stuff like that, it makes sense to do the higher end, more expensive shrimp. But the prices on the Caradina shrimp with the importers and everything like that, they're so low. There's not very many people in the United States that are doing Caradina shrimp at all right now. I truly think that until a new platform comes out like Facebook, where there's everybody from the entire hobby in one place, people buying, people selling, who are freely able to post and make a living again on a platform, Caradina is just not. It's not going to be. It's going to be a really high end thing. Like think about discus. Discus are not going to be nearly as popular today if they weren't able to take them and acclimate them to tap water and get people to breed them in tap water, and especially here in the States, right? And because there are hardier discus out there, they're more of a common thing. But if there were something that you could only keep with RO water and you had to like still make the white egg whites and stuff for them, there'd be very, very few discus keepers out there. Like there might be the same amount of Caradina keepers, and that's kind of where it is. It's such a niche market and niche hobby that I'd say 99% of the people, the breeders that I knew from 2016, if I knew 100 Caradina breeders, there's only like one of them left here today. So, what camera and what computer? So we use, it's an MSI laptop, I believe. I'm not real tech savvy. We went to iBuyPower. It's literally still right there, stickers right there, and put in the specs that we were looking for, all the RAM and everything like that, and hard drive. storage, whatnot. And we're able to get a pretty good deal on the laptop computer that we have. But I'm not really the person to be talking to about computer specs anymore. Back when I was 12, built my own computer, upgraded it, everything like that until I was 16. When I was 16, for my birthday, my dad handed me a shoebox with all the receipts of all the computer parts that I had bought with my own money, working landscaping, spring break, summer, and winter with them, and was like, "You could have bought a really nice car with all that." And yeah, that's basically the height of my computer nerding days. Haven't built one since, but the camera that's built into most of these newer computers should be all right, as long as you get one that can shoot in like 1080p. That's more than good enough. But again, all of them can link up to your computer. With the phones can link up to the computer with an app. And yeah, the Shure mics. What sold me on the Shure mic was it's the mic that Joe Rogan uses and a lot of other podcasters. So if the best podcast is using that mic, then that was the one I wanted. I didn't get the one, like there's a more professional one, like probably now. I bought this 4 years ago, I think now. So there might be different models out there. There's one that takes a different plug other than an HDMI plug, and it needed some other like sound box in between it to make it run or something like that. So I went with this one. A little less professional, but the sound quality is still really good. Hopefully we answered that question already about what day we're arriving, Alishan. If not, you can message me and I'll pull the exact date off the calendar for you. All right, last chance, hashtag Shrimp Sanctuary. I would say the people that I talk to, majority 90% of them have just freshwater tanks. But I do talk to a lot of saltwater people too that have just saltwater tanks. But most of the people that have saltwater tanks also have a freshwater tank. So yeah, I never did water cooling, but I was constantly upgrading my graphics cards, and then eventually had to upgrade my motherboard and CPU and everything with it just to keep up with the new World of Warcraft expansion or Call of Duty, or it was just those two games really that I cared about growing up. So last chance, hashtag Shrimp Sanctuary. We're going to go ahead and pull this up. I'm going to go ahead and refresh. Surely we've got more than one entry. All right, 36 entries, hashtag Shrimp Sanctuary. Going to go ahead. Where's the spin the wheel? I have to log in. Hold on now. There we go. I guess I'll refresh it again. All right. Anna Banana. Congratulations, Anna Banana. Just drop a message. You got a minute to respond just to make sure you're still here. That is for the shrimp net. No, we don't mind any crypto. I got out of the computer scene like right when crypto got big. But I know if I had like, instead of like doing more sports and less computer my last 2 years of high school, I definitely had a couple of friends on my gaming networks who probably would have convinced me to do some crypto. And even if it was just like my infinity money and stuff like that I had through sponsorships, I probably would have just put $5 here, $5 there, and we all know where that turned out to be. And it could have been big, but never did it. And then by the time I got into computers and like streaming equipment and stuff like that, I'm like, I'm so far behind. I'm not even gonna bother. Out of 400 plus tanks, how many have fish in them? So fish, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 tanks have fish in them. 15 have 17 tanks. I forgot about the kitchen counter tanks. And they have some oh no, there's definitely more. I have way more endlers. There's probably like 30, close to 30. I forgot. We've got a lot of endlers and a couple of pairs of guppies that I decided not to move outside because we've got a bunch of rice fish going around. So still waiting to see Anna's remark. And I am here. There you are. Congratulations. Please email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com and send us your name, YouTube name, and address, and we will ship out the shrimp net. So we also wanted to do a $25 gift card. So let me see if I can't set up a new giveaway real quick. Hashtag TGOE. All right. I got that done. Painless and quickly. So that's for a $25 gift card to our website, tgoeshrimp.com. Steven said, I mined whole Bitcoins back in the day, sold them for dozens of dollars. Yeah, I probably would have done the exact same thing. Would have sold them before they blew up too. Matching garlic shrimp logo tattoos. I think little scuba divers that were walking pet shrimp would be more gnarly. We got to get someone to draw that up first, though. No, not 50. I know it's not 50. We don't have anywhere close to 50 fish tanks, but I forgot about the endlers, and there's quite a few endlers. I've got them mixed in with the sirens and stuff like that. Have you ever kept the Midnight Prince tigers? Thoughts? Easy, more or less challenging. I've kept them, but had a rough time. So the Midnight Prince tigers come out of the Safari line or the Dancing Men lines from Mopo. We've had several of them. But in my honest opinion, there were just culls that were renamed and overpriced and sold in basically the U.S. market only. They didn't really take off overseas, and I think a lot of the German breeders and Asian breeders realized what was going on. I kind of did myself. And was like, why bother working on these or trying to sell these, because they're just a byproduct of what you're trying to make. So I've had some, but I never really wanted to work on them. They're the Tai bees that are popping out of her line of work that she wanted to claim were tigers, and then they just weren't. Pick one moss. Weeping moss. There's a lot of mosses that have just taken over the tank, and I think weeping moss, it's one of the easier ones to control, but still grows fairly quickly enough that I know it's taking out the nitrogen out of the water, and I'm able to find a new home for it relatively easily. Hashtag TGOE, and see all the entries. That's for a $25 gift card. Yeah, I think that would be a good matchup. I think Shelby maybe this is Shelby's idea. I can't remember if Shelby had the idea to do matching those scuba divers. The Scuba Steve Garden of Eater saga. It's a great one. Scuba Steve made me feel like I was actually a YouTuber for the first time. Aquashella has always treated us like royalty. And back before we think we even had 3,000 subscribers, they did a poster of all of the creators that were featured at Aquashella, and Scuba Steve made it his own scavenger hunt mission to go through and gather up and collect signatures of each one of them. And at Aquashella, I'm not an easy person to find. Even when I should be working the booth, I might not be there. Even when I should be aquascaping, I might not be there. Or the shrimp contest, I might not be there. I could be checking in with any of the other three. I could be washing stone in some janitor's closet in the back of the expo. There's a lot of things that keep me busy at Aquashella, and I'm not necessarily there at the show, right? So I know it was on Sunday when he was able to find me, but he got my signature, and it just made me feel like, worthy of creating content, right? So since then, he's been at several of the Aquashellas, the Triple Crown, the Keystone Clash. He's always a pleasure to see. Scuba Steve, I mean, it's a classic either way, right? And the scuba diving has always been a big thing for me. But the little scuba diver walking a pet shrimp, I think that's a perfect combination. Yeah, I mean, he's got some time on his hands. He said he's got some available things, but I'm trying to get the man to do my print for the 2 years. Once he does that, then it'll be tattoo time. But I don't think that'll get done before the Clash. Not this year. I got to get a pair of white green tree frogs and name them after the Prince of Darkness and his Princess Sharon. How's it going, Mike? Nice to see you. Doing good. In the good old days, you didn't recognize me without my hat. Stephen P says when he first met Scuba Steve, he introduced himself as Stephen P because he's a Stephen P too. That's funny. That is funny. My neighborhood poisoned my tub, then got antagonistic and confrontational. Insisted I planted the dead fish. Yeah, the mosquito sprays and the pesticides and stuff like that, they're not a good thing for the open tubs. In our backyard, we've got these really tall portocarpus bushes, and I really am lucky to have those because they provide like a little natural filter for the aquatics in the backyard, so I don't have to worry about those chemicals and sprays as much. Yeah, sometimes the tattoo artists charge extra and take a while to get that done. There's not a lot of time at the Clash to be going to get tattoos in the first place. We barely had time for ice cream last year. All right, so last chance, hashtag TGOE. I'm going to spin here in just a second for a $25 gift card. I'm going to just check in with the notes here. I do believe we're all caught up. Everything that we've got going on. Again, before Benny Tay, apologize for the kind of sad live stream. I was more just upset and worried about my mom more than anything. But her surgery went well. Everything's looking good. But thank you for everybody that reached out. Really, really appreciate you guys. So this giveaway is for you guys. Hashtag TGOE 35 entries. Oh, why did I click entries? Hashtag spin it. Did that not work? What happened here? All right, hold on, guys. I think I'm lagging. All right, try it again. What is going on? I think the wheel's broken. That's twice now I hit spin and it just stops. It's in the middle. All right, here we go. SC Catahulas. Congratulations. You won the $25 gift card. Just making sure you're still here. Again, on the way up to Jersey, we might have a stop in North Carolina to meet up with you in Bristol for dinner with the Bloomfields, or maybe just lunch on the way up. So it won't be a long lunch, but I've got to stop at my buddy's house in Fort Mills again. So we'll be in your area. And congratulations, he is there. I didn't think this would be a really long live stream. Thought it would just be an hour. I do have my notes, so I did come prepared, but I didn't think the chat and the conversation was going to be that good to justify like an entire almost 2 hours worth of live stream. So maybe it's just I'm freshly trimmed up and shaved, and I'm feeling better and more into the mood to get things rolling. But yeah, it feels good to be back to a normal schedule. We will be streaming again next Monday. There'll be nothing that will have anything preventing us from going ahead and doing the next 2 live streams, I think. So when we go up to Pennsylvania, we'll be heading to Morgantown, Pennsylvania. All right. So unless anybody has anything else to talk about, I think that's going to be it for tonight's live stream. Next week's live stream will be about the shrimp contest. If anybody wants to reach out to me, any questions or anything like that, go ahead. We're here to help organize the event in any way we can. I'm going to try and figure out the prices next week. Anybody wanting to sponsor the shrimp contest, you could also reach out to me as well. We've got some open sponsorship opportunities as well. So you want to get your logo out there at Aquashella, now's your opportunity. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for participating in tonight's giveaways. And next week, I'm pretty sure we've got more nets. Might do another net giveaway, but we've got something else I wanted to give away. I just ran out of time for it tonight, so I think that'll be for next week. But yeah, it'll be a nice little surprise. So yeah, thank you everybody, and see you next week. Hope you all have a good one till then.